good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. I'm your host, Mike Bara, in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is a special Thursday night football, Thursday night baseball playoffs, Thursday afternoon update with the Mushroom Ladies. Today, Kristen and Diana are going to be joining me, and you guys are going to love that. We're going to go over all the cool stuff that you can get from MikeBaraPets.com and answer any questions you may have about your pets. So if you have pet questions, jump on in there. Also, hey, feel free to Rumble Rant or Super Chat on YouTube if you want to come in and do that. I always appreciate it. And before that, we're going to have a little news update. First of all, what I want to do is give you guys Okay, sorry about that, guys. My internet has been a disaster the last couple of days. It may be part of the overall internet outages that have been going on. I don't know. Maybe we're getting ready for the EBS, but we lost it. So let's do a quick news update, and then we'll get to the Mushroom Ladies and talk about your fur babies and yourself. Okay, news update is pretty straightforward. Not a lot of new information from yesterday. I know Jen did a show this morning. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I'm insanely busy today. Okay, guys, once again, if this happens again, just stay on. Should be about a minute or so, and I should get back. This is 3 times it's happened now in the last 10 minutes, so don't know what to tell you. The news update again is the bondholder has not been paid yet. He was hoping to get paid today. As soon as I hear anything about that, I will be passing it along in the Telegram groups, not on X, but just in Telegram. That's where we talk about the currency stuff primarily. In other news, I talked with Mark last night after Whisking Wisdom. If you saw that, Mark has again reiterated the fact that there are all these different public announcements in Iraq to the effect that they're deleting the 3 zeros. They're not going to float their currency, but it's all a discussion, open discussion of revaluation of the currency. So that is something that's coming very soon. We don't know when. The information I had yesterday, if you didn't catch it, was that the bond people would start getting paid today. I have 2 bond sources that I really like, and I'll let you know if they tell me that they've been paid. Then the gold back money is supposed to be out on the 1st of November. And then according to them, the revaluation is the 15th of November. Now, I don't see that happening. I believe that we're going to go much sooner than that because of the simple fact that they have to put us through, I believe, before they can do the public revalue, the public gold-backed currency, which that gives them 2 weeks if the bond people start getting paid today. It's also dependent on the bond folks who think they get to go first. I don't think anybody's going to go first. I think it's going to go all at once. So there's that information. TNT Tony did his thing yesterday. He had some interesting information. Two of the things he did say that were in flux was whether the Boulevard would be part of the first basket. I was told about 3 weeks ago that it would not because there was too much instability going on there. And it would be another 3 or 4 years before they could meet all the requirements. However, his people are telling him the Boulevard is going and the rate is going to be 30 cents, deleting some odd number of zeros we don't know yet, but it's going to be a good payout. I was also told, if you remember, that I also know that I was told, if you remember, about 2 weeks ago, that the Boulevard issue had been fixed. The Venezuela issue had been fixed, and that we were waiting on South America to get its act together before we put things through. So everything that I'm hearing is consistent with that. He also had an $11 rate on Vietnamese dong, which seems a little high, but that will be a redemption center rate if it's true. Everybody stay grounded. Everybody stay solid. I can't wait for Jen to put her Gentel out so I can see what she's got for today. But that's where we are at. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring in our wonderful friends, the Mushroom Ladies, Kristen and Diana from MikeBaraPets.com. And ladies, I'm going to put you on top. You get to be on top today. And there we go. And let's see, Diana, I still got you muted. Let me unmute you. Or are you muted on your end?
I'm muted.
There we go. So, guys, let's talk about all this cool stuff. I brought a bunch of stuff out. I got my special sauce. I got all the stuff I'm using. I got Barkley on Mojos and Mush Puppies and Chill Doggies. But I had a couple questions I wanted to ask you before we get into the usual thing, which is like Barkley has had last 24 hours pretty serious diarrhea. Did he just get a bug, or is there anything that you guys make that would be a good thing to help, solidify him a little bit?
Have you given him an overabundance of the Mojos since you've been back after you
Not an overabundance, I don't think, but maybe I should lay off those. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, okay. Because they're very, very rich, and I'm assuming that while you were gone, they may not have gotten what they normally got.
He didn't get any while I was gone, and I've been giving him 6 or 7 or 8 instead of 1 or 2. All right, so I'll give him 1 or 2 or none at all for the rest of the day.
I figured you came back and spoiled him rotten, so yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did exactly that. Okay. Another thing, I was listening to some guys on the radio. They were talking, and they had a dog that swallowed a sock or chewed up a sock. Yeah. That's usually a vet visit. Sometimes there's surgery involved. What do you know what makes dogs do that? Or is there anything we can do to discourage that? Or what do we do when it happens?
I used to have a Samoyed that would go into my panty, dirty clothes and get my stockings, because back in the day when you wore pantyhose, and he would eat the whole pantyhose. And literally we would be pulling it out of his rear end, like stretching. And he'd be going, yeah. A lot. We see this a lot. Maybe they're looking for some minerals. Maybe they're looking for something that's missing in their diet. Maybe they just like the smell. Like a lot of times it's underwear, socks that they tend to go with. So, Kristen, what do you think? Minerals sometimes, but sometimes it's just they like the smell and they eat it.
Yeah. Sometimes also they just get upset stomachs and they'll just eat toilet paper or socks or something to try to soothe that, which is strange, but this is what they do. And so any of those things.
Yeah, I remember when...
how their little body can pass right through because it's pliable, it's soft, it's moving. Unlike a rock, that's a different story, or a toy. But most of the time they pass those things.
It's funny. My brother, he had about 15, 20 years ago, he had a couple of border collie puppies. And he's like, oh, they're eating rocks, man. They're eating gravel. And I'm like, dude, if your dogs are eating gravel, you're not freaking feeding them enough. Please feed them some more. I mean, people don't understand, puppies especially, they're ravenous all the time. They're growing like mad, and they have to be fed, don't they? Am I wrong about that?
Well, they're usually looking for minerals. I mean, it's a Cody. We almost lost Cody. Kristen and Kurt were here saying goodbye to Cody. Cody would eat rocks all the time, and he ate a huge rock, and it got stuck in his intestines. And it was either cut him open, which is really a dangerous surgery, and or see if we can make it pass. I mean, you guys remember that, Kristen? You guys came and say goodbye to him. He was just, it was awful. But yeah, it's not because they're hungry; it's because they're missing something. But speaking of puppies, did you watch the video on your Telegram room that someone posted about the birth of those babies, those puppies?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, someone posted on your Telegram room, and thank you for posting it because I sat for 2 hours watching it because I was mesmerized about 8 little puppies being born and everything that had to be done by the mother when these babies were born and how quickly they had to eat. And it was really, really good. Whoever posted it, it was really good. I sat and watched it just going, holy crap. You know, a baby's born. They have to cut the umbilical cord. They have to suck out the nose. They have to do this. They have to do that. Oop, another one's coming. I got to get this one feeding. It was crazy. Yeah, it was really good. But yeah.
Okay, but no, I'll have to watch that. And again, guys, if you have questions about your pets or anything or yourself, because a lot of these products are also for human consumption, the Coriolis Versicolor, Enforce, immune system boosters, and other things. So get those questions ready, get them in. And Diana and Kristen, I'm just going to turn it over to you guys and make myself small, and we'll go from there.
Well, we so appreciate you, Mike. It's been so much fun being with you on this journey. And we did have a contest winner from the 30th. Mike did a contest on the last day of the month to get a few orders in. And the winner was Stephanie Jones. So today or tomorrow, you should be receiving 5 pounds worth of freeze-dried food. So we're excited about that. And we're going to announce another contest. People like contests. So this contest is going to be a Halloween contest. Send us the picture of your fur baby dressed up in his Halloween costume with an order number, or if you're on Smart Ship, just give us your name so we can look it up. And we are going to be drawing multiple winners the first show that we're on in November. So I'm excited about that. But we're the Mushroom Ladies. This is, gosh, I get it wrong every time. This is Kristen. I'm Diana. We're both certified in nutrition for animals. I'm certified in CBD and holistic care. And Kristen is certified in mycology. And you know what? We're just animal lovers like you guys are. And we're here today to talk a little bit about some of our product line, some of the new things that are happening. But I have to tell you, you know, I've been really doing a lot of research lately on our dogs and how many of them are dying of cancer. And it's been a really tough week because I've had so many people contact me about cancer and their animals. And it just seems like it's exponentially growing with the amount of animals that are being diagnosed and dying from cancer. I'm working with a dog right now for 7 months that the vet basically had said, there's nothing else I can do. He's 14. He's a lab. He's got lymphomas everywhere. He's not healthy enough to be operated on. He's filled with cancer. But go see the Mushroom Ladies. I mean, she literally sent them to us. And so 7 months ago, they were making a decision. Do we put this dog down? Do we not? What do we do? And it was kind of funny because I said, if the dog still likes to eat, if the dog still wants his belly rubbed, and if the dog still looks happy to you, he's not ready to go. And you'll know when he's ready to go. So 7 months ago, we started this baby on our mushroom product. And about 4 weeks into it, she called me and said, the dog's doing so good. I have an old cat. You think this will help the cat? So we got the cat on the special sauce. And I just talked to her a couple of days ago, and she said, it's like having 2 young animals back in my house. She said, they're running around, they're playing, they're happy. And like, we know we're not going to keep this guy around forever, but if we can give him another year, another 7 months, another month, even another day of good quality life, that's what we're here for. And we appreciate Mike. We appreciate the platform. He's been such an advocate for animals. And I think that's when I knew that I liked you, Mike, is one day somebody said something about an animal and you went, oh, and it's the way you did, oh, that I was like, oh, he loves animals, right?
I do. I do. I got one right here. I got one right here, as a matter of fact.
I know he's a good guy, and all of the concerns you have for your baby. So we're on a mushroom mission. Our flagship product is the Coriolus versicolor mushroom, and we're going to introduce some new products today. We're kind of excited about them. Our mushroom products are all natural. The products for the dogs and the horses have glucosamine, chondroitin, and keratin, which is going to help with their movement. We have everything from mush puppies to mush puppies plus for your dogs. They're wonderful little biscuits that are peanut butter flavored, all natural. And, anything that the immune system is responsible for is going to be supported and helped because of this. We're not veterinarians. We don't treat, we don't cure, we don't heal. We just support the immune system. And I think that's the most important thing that we can say about what we do. The immune systems are supported, whether it's human or whether it's animal. Everything else is going to fall into place. And I know that Mike has had a real challenge with Miss Fluffy Muffy, getting her to finally understand that she needs to have things that are healthy instead of things that are not healthy, because he spoils them. And I know we've got Miss Fluffy Muffy on the Sequoia food. And Mike, I know you're really happy with this. And so is Miss Fluffy Muffy. She loves it. And we've got Miss Fluffy Muffy on the special sauce. And it was a challenge for you to get them with her, right?
Yeah, she didn't want to eat it, but after about 4 or 5 days, she started nibbling it, and now she looks forward to her Sequoia turkey cat food, and I mix the special sauce in with it every day, and she looks forward to it. And I just know it's definitely already helping her. So for sure.
Yeah, we get tons of testimonials on that, a lot from your community too, and it really is good for them. So I'm going to turn it over to Kristen. She's going to talk a little bit about mushrooms, but she's also going to introduce some new products that we're really excited about. So Kristen, take it away.
Thanks, Diana. Yeah, I'm hearing what's happening with Mike's pets and what people are posting in the chat and what Diana has talked about. And it's just so amazing when you really learn about the power of mushrooms and how much support they provide for the body, for both pets and people. It's unbelievable. And I always talk about this documentary I watched called Fantastic Fungi, where I learned that covering the entire earth, there's a network of mycelial mushrooms, and nature uses that network to communicate with each other and to pass resources to and from each other. And it's such a beautiful thing. And so when you understand how crucial 80% of every step you take, you're stepping on that mycelial network of mushrooms. 80% of the air that we breathe, we're breathing in mushroom spores. So when you understand how crucial they play a role in the planet and in Earth, then you realize, oh, this is why it's so beneficial when we get it into the body. So unfortunately and fortunately, as people are using more mushrooms and knowing the benefits of them, there are so many companies and manufacturers that are like jumping into the game, and they're like, hey, buy our mushrooms and buy our mushroom blend. It's 20 mushrooms all in one. And unfortunately, because these are kind of fly-by-night manufacturers, we don't know the quality of it. We don't know the potency of it. Could be diluted, could have contaminants in it. It hasn't really been tested. So if you're taking mushroom supplements for your pets or for yourself, we recommend you make sure you're taking pure tested strains. That's something that's so important to us. All of our strains are pure, tested 3 times for purity. We get a certificate of analysis on every single batch, 3 of them. And that's the way we know that it's safe and it's quality. It's potent and efficacious, and we used a really advanced extraction method while it's in its mycelial phase, which a lot of other people don't do. And that's why we're having these results that we're having. And you look at the hundreds of published studies that have been done on the Coriolus versicolor mushroom in its mycelial phase, and you see what the researchers are finding and how that directly correlates with what we're experiencing as people get our mushroom strain into their pets or into themselves. It makes perfect sense why we're finding that, because we use a really advanced method. And also, you want to make sure that your body can fully absorb and utilize all of those beneficial compounds. So in our pet treats, in our human capsules and tablets, we use additional minerals and simple salts and just all of these additional natural ingredients, because these are just whole foods. Like Diana said, it's not a cure for anything. It's just a food. It's no different from eating a mushroom on a salad. So all of these natural ingredients help the body to fully absorb. So even though we're backed by science, we're rooted in nature. Like Diana and I always say, if nature didn't make it, don't take it.
Yeah. Kristen, can I ask you a question? I mean, I love sauteed mushrooms like on my steak, and it would be just like that. It would be a Coriolis versicolor mushroom as opposed to some other random mushroom or whatever the ones they use for that is. But I like to warm her food up a little bit, and like Miss Fluffy Muffy's food, I give her a little bit of it and the other cats, but then I put it in the fridge. I warm it up in the microwave. Let me ask you this. Does the microwaving affect the mushroom itself? Is it a problem? Is that something I should avoid doing when I give them the special sauce mixed with the cat food and stuff?
It's probably my least favorite way to warm it up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even warm up some water.
Yep.
And then just pour some warm water in there. It might make it a little juicier for them, give them a higher moisture content. But we do know that unfortunately microwaves do change the chemistry of the foods that we're eating. And so, even the other ingredients, it is impacting them. So the mushroom will still work, but it is changing the chemistry of what
I never put the special sauce in the microwave. I just will heat up the food a little bit because that, as far as I know, does this actually contain mushroom or no? The food
well, it's interesting that you asked that. It doesn't now, but we are going to start adding it into the food as well.
Okay, and then in that case, I will never microwave it again. I'll find something. If I think about it, I'll take this out of the fridge 2 hours before I give it to them, and then it just warms up to room temperature naturally.
The warm water is a little easier. You won't remember to take it out. We've all done that. So the warm water works.
Okay, all right.
Just a little bit.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to ask.
Good. That's a good question. Did you see before you go back? Did you see Margin Call's comment about her horse? It says, I've been giving the horse. This is a great comment. I'm loving this. It's just like, wow.
Been giving my horse with leaves, COPD, heaves and COPD, the mush ponies this year, and she's never had any bad episodes of heaves this year. Last summer, she spent a considerable amount of time on steroids to help her breathing. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Think about that. Look at the difference you've made for that animal. That's because you had the courage to put us on, even though it's not like your genre, but you loved animals. But these kind of phone calls, I did a call this morning about how many testimonials we get and how it just makes what we're doing so purposeful,
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because they're just mushrooms, you don't have to give your horse one mush pony a day. You could give them 2 or 3 or 4 if you want to, right? Or 5 or 6.
With most horses, it's 4 a day. Because of the size, most of them. But they can have as many as they want. But again, it's also budget too, right?
Right.
Yeah, but they can't get addicted. They can't overdose. There aren't any side effects. It doesn't interact with any medications or treatments. It's just a food. It's just a superfood is all it is. So the Coriolis versicolor is really, really powerful mushroom. Like Diana said, we encourage every pet, every person, every day to be getting this food into their system. I take it every single day. I'm almost 44 and I feel like I'm 23 years old.
Yeah. Every day.
You look amazing for 44. You really do. Having met her in person, you look fantastic.
And if I find that I have forgotten and maybe half the day has gone by and I go, oh my gosh, I forgot. I literally will, even if I'm in the bed, I will get up because I never miss 3 a day. I'm going to be 68 next year. And I haven't had a cold. I haven't had the flu. I haven't had anything in 6 years. I'm 5 years, 6 months cancer-free. And I totally relate it to my immune system being given the support that it needs. Simple.
Yep.
And if I ever do feel maybe a cold coming on or like allergies as right now, as the weather's changing and allergies are kind of kicking up, I just take some extra mushrooms. Instead of, I used to go to, the medicine cabinet and take a Benadryl or a Tylenol cold, then it would last for 3 or 4 weeks or months even. And now it's like I take a few extra mushrooms and a day later I'm like, all right, back to normal.
Yeah.
Well, and Kristen, that happened the other night. My husband's decorating for Christmas and he's on full 15-hour a day, way too much work, way too fast. He started sneezing and coughing in the middle of the night. And I was like, here it comes. So I said, get up and take some mushrooms. He was like, I don't want to get up. So I went and I got him some Coriolis versicolor and gave him 3. And he immediately went back to sleep, woke up the next morning, no coughing, no sneezing, nothing that was happening the night before. And I attribute it to the fact that we dealt with it quickly and we didn't wait for it to get worse. And Yeah. So
pharmaceuticals are great. Anytime I feel like I'm getting a cold, I take ivermectin. It seems to go away. But also, it'd be better if you could do something, holistic, more natural, like taking the mushrooms. So, yeah.
Yep. I always say, Kristen says, if nature, Kristen says, and it was from, I found the quote, if nature didn't make it, don't take it, from Dr. Stevie. That's what it is. And then the other one is, quit going to your healers or your dealers and start going to your healers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right, Kristen.
We got off on a tangent, Kristen. Go ahead.
What happens if you get
back to Kristen.
3 ADD people all in one conversation?
Yeah.
Never a dull moment. So the whole foods. We need to get these whole foods into the body. And that has really been our approach for these last 8 years. And we've seen over 90% of the time, just amazing stories and reports back of what has happened once the body has the natural support that it deserves. But we also know that there are some things that present themselves on the outside, right? When there are imbalances in the body or dis-ease, or when something needs to be repaired or regulated in the body, sometimes it will present itself on the outside. You'll get rashes or blisters or sores or discoloration in the skin. We see wrinkles. We see all different types of things that are presenting themselves that way. And so we wanted to take the same values and the same idea and concept of using nutrition from the inside out, but also provide a way for us to find relief and support from the outside in, while we're letting the immune system do its thing. So we have a new line called Myco V, which Myco just means mushroom and V is French for life. So it's like the mushroom life. And what it's meant to do is complement what the Inforce products and the mushroom products that we have for our pets and ourselves, complement those, do them at the same time. So now we're taking a double approach, helping from the outside in and also from the inside out. So the first one that you see up there is the Myco V Body Balm Plus. And this is really deeply moisturizing, has like shea butter and coconut oil. It has calendula oil, which is soothing and calming. You can look up all of I could go on and on about the different properties of calendula oil. And also it has the adaptogenic reishi mushroom extract in it as well. So anyone dealing with dry or cracked skin, post-sun recovery, if you have sore joints or muscles, this can be really helpful for that. People that work in construction or restaurants a lot of times have that dry, cracked skin from washing their hands so much.
So, Kristen, I just noticed just a day or so ago, I've been traveling a lot, that I'm starting to get these sort of deeper lines here all of a sudden. And so would that help for something like that? I mean,
absolutely. So like Diana and I use it every night. It's like our skin ritual that we put on at night before we go to bed. And it's an overnight balm that helps with skin regeneration while you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I also have I have a CPAP machine and I also now have 2 little dark spots right here where my straps go. So CPAPs are wonderful, but you do have to, your body, will respond to them. So.
It'll definitely help with that. And even for your pets, for their paw pads and their noses, gives them that protection and that hydration. We're using it for minor skin irritations as well. So when you get a scrape or a bug bite, or when you have rough patches on the skin or rashes, the calendula oil and the reishi mushroom help the body's response to that inflammation and help to calm it. It's also helpful for pregnancy, like women who are pregnant, to put it on to prevent the stretch marks. And then even if you already have stretch marks, it gives you that extra support because it improves the elasticity in your skin. So this little thing, this just foods, again, it's 100% natural, no synthetics, no fragrances, no parabens, nothing, is so good for you and can do so many different things as this hydrating balm. Now, we also have so many people that have been dealing with joint pain and neck and back and shoulder pain and knee pain. There's just so much happening right now. So we also have this relief cream that you can get. I don't know if that's up there. It's the Body Balm Plus still, but the relief cream is really, it brings relief for your muscles, joints, any tension or stiffness. And it has so many different extracts and botanicals in it. It has reishi and shiitake mushroom extracts. It has MSM, colloidal silver, and trace minerals, which help with the cellular repair and the circulation in your body. It sure reminds me of your joke, Mike. And
yeah, let's yeah, okay. Well,
that's another show.
We'll talk about that after the show, Chris. Helps your circulation.
Yeah, there are all types of circulation in your body. And it also has the essential oils in it that give you more help with the soreness and the stiffness. And then on top of that, we use micro water technology, and that's what helps it to penetrate really, really deeply. So we have people with torn meniscus and like really deep pain that's deep into the muscles, almost to the bones and the fascia area. And this micro water helps it to cut through and go right down to it. So anyone with muscle aches or soreness or even tension headaches, I woke up with a little bit of a headache this morning, and I took this relief cream and I put it on my temples and right here on my forehead. And then I also put it in my neck, and it just instantly lifted. And I'm just feeling so much better. So I don't even know how I would feel if I didn't have this and use it right away. So when you get those tension headaches, or you, especially if you have like arthritis or chronic pain, this type of support can be really helpful for you. And then nerve discomfort, sensitivity. And even for women, if you're dealing with like abdominal cramps or menstrual cramps, you can rub it into your lower abdomen and it will help with the cramping. So there are just so many, again, great botanicals and adaptogenic mushroom extracts in this that give you all kinds of support. And then the last one that we've just introduced that is really revolutionary, there's nothing like it that I've ever seen, is called the Beauty and Longevity Gel. And its main ingredient is interleaf aloe vera. So it's very soothing, but it's meant for ingestion and topically. So you can eat it, like mix it with a smoothie every day, or mix it with your water and drink it and eat it. And you can also use it topically as a serum. And again, that's how safe and non-toxic it is. What skincare products do you have that you can eat? Right. Probably you should be none of them, right? So that's just how pure and natural it is. It has the hyaluronic acid. It helps with your own collagen production. It boosts your own collagen production and elasticity with amla extract and biotin. So even with the wrinkles that you were talking about, it helps to reduce those, and it promotes that elasticity and firmness. Also nourishes your hair and your scalp and your skin for both pets and people. It's safe for animals. It has MSM, Irish sea moss, and agar, which are minerals to help with digestion and joints and connective tissues. It helps to age way more gracefully. Look up studies on these adaptogenic mushrooms, shiitake, maitake, and the reishi mushroom, and how those help the body age more gracefully and fight the oxidative stress. It's unbelievable. Look up the graying of your hair loss, wrinkles, skin condition, all of those types of things. There's so much research that's being done. So again, you can use it as a serum for your body. Put it on before you do your moisturizer. You put it on your skin.
Yeah, Barkley has a little bare spot like on his elbow because we moved to a house that was all carpeted to a house that's got tile and hardwood floors, and he's just got a little like a little edge spot on his elbow. I'm going to try it on that and let you guys know.
Yeah. Put some of that on there. It should definitely help with that. And also the Coriolis versicolor mushroom that he's eating will help his own immune system for the hair to grow back in that spot. We've seen that a lot. And so this also helps for your pets. Again, the noses, the elbows, the paw pads. And then this is a big one. Whenever you've been exposed to the sun or any cosmetic treatments like microdermabrasion or shaving, you can put this on as a post-treatment gel to calm the redness, and it also replenishes the moisturization in the skin, in the area. And also for joint and skin support for aging areas. So if you have crepey skin or skin that's just not looking as youthful as it once did, you can rub it in those areas and it'll help. And like I said, it's also ingestible. So I take 2 teaspoons of it every day, and I put it in my pet's water bowl and I mix it with my own smoothie. 2 teaspoons for all my pets and for all of us. And you can mix it with a smoothie or herbal tea. but that will help to support healthy skin, collagen production, and cellular hydration, again, from the inside out.
Yeah.
So it's so powerful. I can go on and on because I've just done so much research and I've experienced the results myself. And so I'm so excited for people to find this relief and get this extra support that they really need for themselves and for their pets. And it's so affordable. You know, a lot of times you see these products and they're like $120, $149.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like for half that, you get a pure, natural, non-toxic, safe, no side effect product that is so much better, that actually gives you better results. So we encourage people, give it a try. We do have our 30-day money back guarantee. There's no risk, but we're really confident that you'll experience what we have and see a lot of these benefits from getting this extra support. Now, you heard
I want to interject because this is really important. On the Body Balm Plus, we had a little girl who had the worst case of acne I've ever seen. Like, you'd look at her poor little face and it was just hot and angry and it just looked painful. And she's also disabled, which is quite sad. They put a little bit of this on her face before she went to bed at night. And the next morning she woke up and she said to her mom, "Mommy, my face doesn't hurt." And when you looked at her face, it literally had gone from hot, angry red to softer. So I love what we're doing with treating from the outside in as well as the inside out. And I think the two are they're going to marry each other. And it's very exciting, very exciting. And the pain cream, we had a dog with a pulled joint muscle. We rubbed some of it on his little hip and he started moving just fine. Yeah, it was awesome. It was just like, wow, it worked as well for the pup as it does for people, you know?
This is a shame. In some ways, I about 3-4 weeks ago, I was at Payway, getting some lunch, and I saw a teenager there with pretty bad acne. And I have heard that like pharmaceuticals like ivermectin can be effective in that. And I told him about it. I wish this is actually before, I think, the seminar that we did, meeting. I wish I'd known about this, because I would just tell him to try that and direct him to it. And because that is a thing, you don't know what that does. I didn't ever have any acne problems, but I knew some kids who did in high school, and it's just so awful. So if it can really help with that, that's like a miracle for some young people, just for their own, I don't want to say self-esteem because I hate that term, but just how they feel.
It is. It's totally self-esteem. My sister had horrible acne. She has scars because of it. I had none. And so I watched her like be ridiculed, laughed at. She would cry. They tried everything, diet. They tried everything. And, I look back and think, wow, what if she would have had this to put on her skin?
Yeah, it's amazing how many things that used to be real problems can now be treated with just by doing stuff and using some of these products. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and how much of what we're experiencing that's creating these hormonal imbalances and these chemical changes in our brain from most of the foods that we're eating and the stuff we're putting on our skin anyway, and what we're drinking and the water quality and air quality and everything, so it's neat to go back to the basics and say, hey, we've really moved away from the natural order of things. We've strayed away from that and going back to it and rediscovering it. And it's like, oh, this is how people used to live. This is how they used to feel, and you're eating clean, using clean products.
Yeah.
So, that line, like we said, is intended for different results from the outside in, so that you can start getting that support more quickly while your immune system and your DNA and everything that's happening internally, while it's doing its work. These are ways to get that additional support to complement that. Now, like Diana said, we do have the Coriolis Versicolor. If you just want to take capsules or even just give it to your pets, we have it in the green bottle. This is what is the immune support. Every person, every pet, every day should be taking the Coriolis Versicolor mushroom. If you're dealing with something more serious for your pet or yourself, you might want to take extra when you first start, maybe 2 to 3 times more than the recommended amount, so that you get that immune modulation happening really quickly and the body can start responding faster. The immune system is under attack right now, so we need to strengthen it. We need to support it. And the more support you can get, the better. But there are complementary mushrooms, some of them that I just recommended in the Myco-V line, that you could also take in internally. These are edible mushrooms that can help with more specific things instead of just overall immune support, because that's what's great about this is we're always guessing, right? We're guessing what's causing the symptoms. We're guessing why we're feeling the way that we're feeling. The immune system doesn't guess. It knows exactly what's wrong. It knows exactly what to do to fix it, but it's so weak that it can't do what it was intelligently designed to do. So that's why giving it that extra support really empowers your body to regulate, rebalance, resolve, repair anything that's happening inside of it. Now, this complementary mushrooms that you can take give you a more targeted approach for something specific that you might be dealing with. So we have the reishi mushroom and the Enforce Plus, which is the yellow bottle. That also has the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. That's great for adrenal support. It helps the body to regulate blood pressure levels, blood sugar levels, cholesterol levels. It's an alkalinizing mushroom. Also helps with the aging process as well. We also have the Enforce Restore, which is a completely different type of mushroom in the red bottle. It's called the maitake mushroom. Also great for liver and pancreas support, as we have this toxic overload that we're all experiencing that's really overwhelming the liver as it's trying to detox all the time. So giving the liver that extra support helps the body to detox faster. We also have the Enforce Shield, which is the shiitake mushroom. This is great for cardiovascular support. It's rich in antioxidants, great source of natural vitamin D. Also, with the season that we're going into where everyone's getting all these colds and flus, the shiitake mushroom actually impacts your own body's response to viral activity, and it helps it to respond better. So the Enforce Shield is particularly important for times like this when we're changing seasons. And then we also have the Enforce Clarity. This is the blue bottle. This is the lion's mane mushroom. And there are so many studies that are being done on the lion's mane mushroom and the nerve and brain support that it provides. Look up the studies that have been done on how lion's mane impacts Parkinson's, dementia, neuropathy, Alzheimer's, seizures. I could go on and on and on because there's so much research being done. Also, the lion's mane mushroom helps to maintain a healthy weight as well. So there are just so many great properties to these mushrooms that you can take along with the Coriolis versicolor mushroom if you or someone that you know is dealing with anything that I just talked about or needs that specific extra type of support. It'll really help them to accelerate their progress.
Now, and there's no issues with taking all of these every day, right? All of them.
Yeah, no, I do.
And that's an important question, Mike, because sometimes some mushrooms don't play well with others. So it is very important. These all play well together. And Kristen, I don't know if you heard my call this morning, but Mike, there's a fellow podcaster who has had me on quite a few times, and their best friend called me about 6 or 8 weeks ago crying with her husband on the phone that they thought she had some neurological problems going on because she was losing her words. She would go to say something about her husband and she would point to him and she couldn't say his name. And she was scared. Her husband was on the phone. They were very upset. I said, well, first of all, you should go see a neurologist. However, in the meantime, let's get your immune system in check, because we know that the immune system has been linked to the brain by the American Medical Association in 2024. We started her on this right away. And then a week later, we started her on the Clarity. It's been about 5-6 weeks. She called me. Well, actually, she texted me the other day with her husband saying, we need to talk to you ASAP. And I thought, oh, I wonder if everything's okay. And I called her and they were both singing to me, thank you. That she's had no more episodes. The family has noticed it, as well as she's sleeping better. Her joint pain has gone away. She overall is feeling fantastic. But when you can help somebody like that just with something that God put on this planet, it's amazing. I mean, that was like one of the best calls I ever had. She's so happy. But her family, usually the family is the one who notices cognitive issues before you do. Mm-hmm. Her family had noticed it and was very concerned. And when she noticed it, then they knew we got a problem. Well, here we are. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been traveling a lot, and I was at dinner or breakfast with another fairly well-known UFO guy, and it was I think it was on a Monday morning, and he asked me, did the Raiders win? And I said, no, they got their asses kicked, right? Of course, it's the Raiders, Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. And 5 minutes later, he asked me if the Raiders were again.
Oh.
And he's 60, just to turn 60. So, you notice those things. You do notice them. And the thing is, I don't want to feel like I'm trying to sell this stuff to my friends. I just had a conversation with my sister this morning. She's got terrible migraines, and I'm trying to tell her what she should take. But it sometimes you just gotta give it a shot. You gotta take a shot. You gotta tell people, hey, you asked me twice within 3 minutes who won the Raiders game. You should be doing something.
Well, I think that if you do it with love and good intentions, you're obligated to do it. Yeah. We're obligated. How dare us sit back and watch?
That's the thing. That's the thing with the kid with the acne problem. I felt like I know about this. I should at least go talk to him about it.
And you have to do it with love and compassion and empathy, and not like you're trying to sell, but hey, I heard this story about this little girl, and I think you could also benefit. Here's some information. That way you're not selling them. You're just giving them a story that they can relate to.
Now we're guys. I'm just going to go, dude, you asked me twice in 3 minutes who won the Raiders game, okay?
Well, okay.
Get on this stuff right now. That's what guys are going to do.
Mike, I have to tell you, I have a friend who was doing the same thing, and it was really scaring me. And I said to my husband, should I call her daughter? I've noticed all these things with my friend. I'm really concerned. And he goes, why would you call her daughter? Just tell her. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like trying to figure out the nice, easy way to do it without just telling her, look.
Masculine versus the feminine. Yeah. With the dudes, you're just like, dude, you're fucked up. Go. Exactly. Get on some mushrooms, pal.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and also we work with a lot of like veterans that are dealing with those same types of things. And it's so concerning and sad, and the anxiety and the PTSD and depression. And there's so many studies done on the lion's mane and how it impacts those types of like even mental health issues. We have children that we see with autism. Look at the research that's being done on a combination of Coriolis versicolor, lion's mane, and reishi mushroom, and how that's impacting autism. It's really incredible what we're learning. And you're right. We have to say something. And people, it's everyone's choice. People are going to do whatever they do, but it's on me if I don't at least say something like, hey, my friend took this. Do you want the link? Let me send you the link to what my friend took. And it really helped them, and then if they do it, great. If they don't, great. But at least you shared, something that has been helpful for other people, and hopefully they'll take advantage of it. But even with our pets, with the lion's mane mushroom, we have more pets getting dementia. We see dogs all the time, more than normal, with hyperactivity, separation anxiety, even depression, showing signs of depression. So we take the lion's mane mushroom and we bake it into dog biscuits called the chill doggies also, so that they can get the lion's mane. And it's a really calming thing for them. We add other calming ingredients like lemon balm extract and passion flower, and a little bit of organic catnip, which is actually calming for dogs. What some people call organic catnip doggywana.
Well, it's funny because like Barkley doesn't like it when Dave and I go out together, but I'm probably going to go out Friday. But we throw him a chill doggy. That distracts him right when we go out the door and set the alarm. And then I'll check in on the alarm system, and he's just crashed out with his dog music playing on YouTube, an hour or two later. It's wonderful.
Yeah, Kristen sent me a picture of her dog, Trina's friend, and she had him dressed up like Snoop Dogg. She said, yeah, he's just like Snoop Dogg when he's on his chill doggies.
Yeah.
Walking around the house like Snoop Dogg.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's really great, especially like when it comes to 4th of July or New Year's Eve, when there's a lot of fireworks, or like the holidays are coming up where a bunch of people are going to probably be coming to your house.
Halloween, doorbells ringing all the time.
Yeah. So before all those things, give them a chill doggy. If they're larger, give them 2. Take one yourself, maybe. and you'll have a much more enjoyable experience with your pet.
Okay.
So Kristen, have you taken one? I've tasted it.
My rule. My rule.
I tasted it, but I didn't eat the whole thing. I should do that, right?
Yes, all of our products have been tested on people.
I've tested it, but I haven't eaten the whole thing to see if it affected me.
It's very earthy.
Okay. I remember tasting it. It was earthy. It's like eating dirt.
Okay.
But
all right.
All right. Well, gosh, thank you so much, Mike, for this platform. You know, we do want to remind people that we do have a bulk buying program. We do have Smart Ship to get free shipping. If anybody would like that information, just email me at mikebarapets@gmail.com. I promise you I'll get back to you within 24 hours. Any question you might have, if you'd like me to do an analysis on what you're feeding, we're just here to help. And don't forget about the contest. Picture of your fur baby dressed up for Halloween and an order number, and you will be entered to win 5 pounds of freeze-dried food.
Yeah. So again, the address for Diana is mikebarapets@gmail.com. Just go to mikebarapets.com to pick up any of these products or look at them. Send Diana an email. Diana and Chris or Kristen will get back to you and tell you what's going on. Thank you, ladies. For being here. Let's hope we've impacted some lives today. And it just, you know, it reminds me, gosh, guess what I haven't taken yet today? I guess I better get on this right now.
Yeah, you know, Mike, I will tell you, I watched you travel the last couple of weeks, and I know you're doing a couple things, and I think that's all, it's all in great combination, but I saw you travel the last few weeks. That was a hard schedule, and you didn't look like you got sick. You didn't look like you had any issues, and it was kind of like, this is good. Everything you're doing is working in synergy.
Yeah. And, you know, it's combinations of things, but the mushroom medicines are a critical part of that. So, yeah, I didn't get sick at all. It was great.
Yeah. You look like you had a great trip. I know you're exhausted and you're going to be home for a while now, right?
Well, I do have a free event coming up in Pahrump, Nevada on the 25th of October. Be there for that. And we're going to maybe try to make that into a thing. And we're looking at doing a regular UFO meetup group. Maybe we'll get MUFON to sponsor us, Mutual UFO Network.
Oh, how fun
in Vegas, because a lot of weird stuff happens around here. So,
well, especially in Pahrump. You're going over the hump to Pahrump.
There's a reason Art Bell lived there and did his broadcast.
Well, okay,
all right, guys. Thank you very much, Diana. Thank you very much, Kristen, both from mikebarapets.com. That's where you go. Link in the description to all this stuff. And be well and take care of your fur babies because they are part of your family. And
yes, they are.
Love them the way you would love anybody else.
No.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.